Ignite is an ongoing series of speedy presentations. They've ranged from building multi-person pogo sticks to hacking chocolate. Any topic that geeks hold dear. Each speaker gets only 5 minutes and 20 slides that auto-advance every 15 seconds.
Hello, like you said, my name is Karen, and this is me standing on a mountain in California a couple years ago. And basically, I've spent a lot of my time backpacking, hiking in the wilderness, and I really love it. And it's these experiences that led me to sustainable design, which is where I'm headed with this talk. Keep going forward. Okay, so I've also spent a lot of time working in restaurants and also working with plants. So through those jobs and those different experiences, I really learned a lot about different kinds of foods and what food is good and what food comes out of a box and you don't know what it is. And I also learned a lot about plants and like fertilizers and how can we grow plants and what are good ways to do that and ways that maybe aren't so good for us or so good for the environment. So this is the kind of food that I like to eat. I want to know what the ingredients are. I want fresh foods. It's vibrant, it's colorful, it tastes good. So now I'm at Georgia Tech and I'm studying industrial design and I'm working on my final project. And basically I want to look at these issues related to food and agriculture and how can we improve sustainability through these issues. So one of the major issues related to food and agriculture is this thing with food miles, that why are we growing food thousands and thousands of miles away and shipping it all over the world and all over the country? Why can't we be growing food locally and in our own backyards or in our own neighborhoods? So another issue is that the global population is rapidly expanding. In the next 40 years, we're going to have 8 to 10 billion people living on this planet, which means less land for each person to grow their food on. So how can we address some of these issues? Most of these people in the next 40 years with this expanding population are going to be living in urban environments. So how can we grow food in urban environments where we have limited space, we don't have a lot of outdoor green space, apartments are small? What's the best thing we can do? Well, my belief is we can go vertical. So there's a lot of concepts out there in the architectural world for farm scrapers and growing a lot of food on a small amount of land. What I want to do is take those same principles and apply it to a small product that you can have in your home and grow food vertically. So before I started designing, I had to see what other products are out there. And some of these have benefits, but a lot of them use too much space. If you're in a small apartment, you can't really have this huge, big piece of plastic in your kitchen. Or growing plants is really amazing and beautiful. Why are we going to hide that magic behind a plastic box? So the other thing I want to focus on is how can we get people to change their behavior? How can one product get people thinking about what kind of food they eat, what decisions they make around other issues related to sustainability? How can I get people really engaged in this activity of decision making? I also believe in art. I think it's really important. I believe that aesthetics can really impact a person and a user, and it gives them something to hold on to and affect decisions they make down the road. So when I started designing, I had to figure out what kind of ways can you grow plants indoors. So you can do hydroponics, aeroponics, you can use soil. I decided to go with hydroponics because it's actually much more efficient than using soil. It's 70% more efficient with water usage than soil. So the next step was to start growing plants, to start figuring out how can I grow food indoors. So I went to Farmer D's. He's a local gardener. He's got a great shop, awesome food. You should check it out. Really wonderful people there with lots of information. This is the first working prototype I did. It's actually based on a design from a group up in Brooklyn called Window Farms. And basically it's a hydroponic vertical system for growing plants. It's great. The plants are growing really well. And the way hydroponics works is instead of growing in soil or what you would normally do, you use some other substrate like these baked clay pellets. And basically it retains the moisture around the roots so the plants can continue to grow, but in a much smaller space than you would need if you're using soil. So here are the plants. They're super happy, super healthy, vibrant. They taste good. It's really going well. And it's just great to be able to be growing food like this, in your home. So in terms of this design, there were a lot of great things about it, but I think it can be improved upon. There's a lot of components here, a lot of parts. If you don't have all the tools to put it together, it's not real easy to use. So how could I improve upon this design so it was simpler to use and maybe not so much plastic? Maybe we can move beyond plastic. So during my research, I found out that felt was a really great material to grow plants in. Most people are using it with soil, so I thought maybe I could take hydroponics and felt, put them together. So I started making prototypes and testing and seeing if this was a material that could work for me. So this is my prototype. This is a couple versions in, and basically I'm using those same baked clay pellets, but in these felt pockets. The plants are super happy. The water drips through the system. It starts at the top, goes down, gets to the roots, and then flows back through the system into a reservoir at the bottom, and then cycles all the way back through. So this is some of the food that I've grown. It tastes great. It's really good. It's awesome to be doing this. So I encourage you to garden in whatever way works best for you, but I'm really encouraging people to look into vertical farming. And this is my blog, so check it out and see what I've been working on. Thank you.